the last one of the week, book launch week. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Right, we are live. Hi, everyone. This is Darla Ledoux. As you've probably noticed, I am launching my book, Shift the Field, this week. Today is the final day of our official 5-day launch. So I'm going to just share for a moment what that's about, and then I'm going to introduce you to Mimi Tran. And she is one of our prizes today. So that's super amazing. And I can't wait for you to get to know her. One lucky book purchaser is going to win a session with her. She is the automation genius behind what we've been doing this week. Can't wait to share. Here is the book, just to make sure you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, purchased the book and claimed our book bundle this week is in this drawing. So we've got this fabulous wheel that Mimi's been populating with all of your names all week, and it has grown and grown and grown, and more people are in the drawing. I am going to, this is our last drawing of the week. So if you've missed it, unfortunate for you, but you still get the book and you can still get $750 worth of bonuses if you go to shiftthefield.com, and you'll see how to buy the book. You'll see a little book trailer about the book to decide if it's for you. And then you can put your name and your receipt number from purchasing in there, and you'll get all these gifts delivered to you. That page will be live through the weekend. So even if you missed today's drawing, you can still go get all of those prizes. So each day as we've been pulling talks from the book and talking about them. So I first just want to remind people, today we're going to draw for a shirt, an I Am Sure sourced shirt, a ticket to our live event, which is called Shift the Field Live, and a sticker, an I Am Sourced sticker, and then this session with Mimi, which is like the grand prize for today. So Mimi, I would love if I said automation wizard, automation genius. I know that's a part of your passion, but that's only a part of who you are. Tell people a little bit about you and kind of what brought you to this industry in this world.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be the prize for this raffle. And for me, I got into automation and learning how to use different tools online so that we don't have to repeat tasks, and basically we can lean on the tools that technology has allowed us to send out emails without us having to repeat them, collect data, run funnels. It's all so much fun and kind of addicting, like a game that you want to solve. But the way that I got into it was that I had been a music major and I was finishing my degree, and I was sending out like 100 text messages and emails like every few days. And it was exciting at first. I think like anyone starting their first business, like it's exciting to do these things. And then I got tired and I realized I wanted to do other things with, at that time, my music. And so I got into automation for myself. And I got so curious that I went to San Diego to learn more. And I found people were asking questions in the conferences and summits that like I knew the answer to. And so when I got sick of my university degree and I wanted to bail, I emailed a company. I was like, can I work for you? Can I do automation? And from there was just like a lot of supporters and a lot of people who came in to ask if I would come in and help them with automation. And I just got lucky where the universe sent me way more incredible, inspiring female entrepreneurs, especially to work with, which was, I think it's such a blessing. Like I can take so many things for granted, but I definitely do not take for granted the incredible women I get to work with. Like I just find so many role models in who I get to work with, and I fall in love with your businesses, and I just like, it's that love for the people I work with, for what you stand for. It's expanded me into learning even more about what automation can do for us, and you're constantly expanding. And it's nerdy, it's fun, it's caused me to learn how to delegate and ask for help and get smarter with the way I do things. So it's really cool.
Amazing. Well, I'm so grateful to have you as a part of Team Sourced. Your energy in this launch, it makes a world of difference to me. So thank you for that personally. I'm going to release my camera from my heart, Mimi. Thank you so much. And we want to geek out a little bit on transformation. So even though your specialty is automation, I know one of the reasons you love being in this space as anywhere else you could be is the transformation and being able to live an amazing life, a sourced life. And so let's talk a little bit about, I think you can bring, I know we could talk a lot about that in a lot of different ways, but I know you have a unique experience that would be helpful to a lot of entrepreneurs in being in this automation space. And I know from my own journey as a business leader, hiring, figuring out what does it mean and what can this tool do and what can't it do and how do I know and what do I need to know, what don't I need to know, I don't know, like that whole kind of dynamic that can go on. And so in the book, I talk about how to help people shift from default energy to sourced energy. And it can be really easy to say just for coaches, but really it applies to all kinds of service businesses. So what have you discovered? And I'll frame it up a little bit and just say for myself, I've noticed like there are times where things just don't work. Right? Like automation or the tech goes down or Mercury retrograde or whatever it may be. And depending on my energy, it may very well be that I've been coming from a space of this isn't going to work. This isn't going to, it doesn't matter. It's not going to work. And I've watched clients have that energy of it doesn't matter. It's not going to work. And I know that what they're giving their tech people is half information because they don't think it matters anyway. And then it doesn't really go very right. On the flip side, I've seen where something doesn't work and it turns out to be sourced. It's like, oh yeah, that was not intended to work, right? It's like, that was just information for the universe. And so when you're two humans in relation working together on this bigger mission and things work or don't work, like what have you learned about default energy and sourced energy from your perspective?
I think default energy can be so many different layers, and automation really calls us to be as aligned as we can be and have as much clarity as we can. And I think when I've read about sourced energy in your book and in your work, being in alignment and having that clarity is just part of being in sourced energy and being willing to like shift the field into wherever it is we're going, like almost like we're tunnel vision, it's like shifting here. And in our default energy, technology challenges us because we could evolve in 2 weeks and learn, okay, we need to plan things out, be ahead, be as forward thinking as we can be and anticipate what we want. And then 2 weeks after, that same technology forces us to be adaptable and be like, okay, let's simplify this now because we're actually working with it and it's working, but it's more than we can hold vibrationally. And so like it creates this need for constant, like from your retreat a few months ago that I attended, Integrate 2020, it's like that learning to unlearn and technology in even from like week to week with retainer clients I've been with for years, it's constantly causing me to ebb and flow into this building and then testing and maintaining and simplifying. And then sometimes you're like, okay, it's all about simplifying. And then you realize, oh, there's more detail we can create now because this is that foundation we can pull from.
Yeah, I love that idea of the flow. And I've seen that transformation happens in cycles. Like you're in the flow. It's like, woohoo, it's working. And then it's like, boom, okay, we're hitting a wall. Like something needs to shift. And so that there is that ebb and flow and anatomy of a transformation. That's the heart of this book. we need to remember. So I'll share a little story with people. Like, gosh, I can't remember years because of the panic. I don't know when it was exactly, but I think it was a year or a little year ago. I had a team retreat and we did the anatomy transformation on the business. So we walked through, like, based on what we're seeing, what are we committed to? What do we actually desire? Because when we're in default energy, we're always getting something that's different than desire. So it's like, okay, what are we getting that's different than what we desire? And let's get real about this. And then we walked through the whole sourced experience on the biz to create a whole new energy. And it literally changed everything in the business overnight. And that's one of the exercises we're going to do in the live event that goes along with the book is walk the anatomy on business. But this is happening all the time in everything we're doing in the business, right? We're either in default or in sourced, and we're either, getting what we desire, we're getting something else. And when we're humans in a relationship, like, anything happens, it be, oh, that's sourced with me. Like, I see how I was the energy, or I didn't actually, want that, or I didn't take the time, or it could be with you, like, oh, had this authority, or I didn't, whatever. And it could be some combination happening for, right? It's never happening to us. It's always happening for us. So what advice would you have? You've supported different entrepreneurs. What advice would you have for us when we're working with an automation specialist, a VA, a person that knows tech and you don't know tech? Like, what would you have around the energy and that dynamic? And I know that's a really big question, so break it however feels right.
I think what's been present for me this month in April has been keeping that energy of we're learning together, we're here together. And if you're hiring an automation person or a VA or anybody on your team, that vibration of and trust behind, do they care about what we're working towards? Do they share the same value about offering the best experience we can for the people who are going to attend Shift the Field Live? Like
Yeah.
Because technology it's our tool and our friend, but it can sometimes also feel like our enemy. And if we lack the trust of the people we're working with, we can project that distrust towards this technology we're still learning to understand, towards the very people we need to work with. And I'm not immune to that. Like I've had the beautiful opportunity of being able to see that my ability to trust in how much my own assistants care and how much Jeremy, who takes care of our analytics that we appreciate so much, when we see how much they care, then it helps us to carry that energy of, okay, this is not perfect and it's a little frustrating, but that frustration is not going to help. And how can we help each other, and how can we set this up so we can continue to be better?
Yeah. This art of being really clear of the communication and not, pretending things aren't happening. Because I know I've been in that place, and I've worked with people who pretend happening, because it's hard. It's hard when it goes wrong, not sure why, and you don't know how to answer it, like waiting on support to tell you. And so that, really trust that we have the highest good in mind. And I would say, for if there's any support staff watching, like, you do an amazing job at communicating that, this is what's happening, or this is how I'm feeling. I really want to make this work, and this is what I'm up against. And I think a lot of people, tech people, right? Like, especially are, in the tech, don't do that. Don't stop and communicate in that way, or don't, because they feel like I have to know everything, or it's not okay to say how I'm feeling, and then amplifies it.
That safe space that has been cultivated within our company Source team, it helps to be able to communicate that emotional side too, because I would love to getting technology to a place where we don't have to touch it and don't have to do anything. But the truth is that we're working at such a depth and such a novelty that we're still human beings creating this.
And tech goes wrong sometimes.
Sometimes
it just who
you can
knows
set it
why.
up perfectly, and then you Google Infusionsoft status, and it's like you find out that yesterday at 7 p.m. when everything was going to shit, they discovered they had a problem.
Yes. Awesome. One of the things we talked about too, and we have a question from Barb's, I'll ask you that in 1 second. We kind of chatted about then own magic, right? Which is things in the book. And you're super unique, as we won't go into human, but you're unique as a reflector. So to begin with, you have a unique kind of makeup, and leaning into your magic and what you love and what lights you up and what you're great at, as opposed to what is the, what those things aren't. How have you learned to do that? And I'm coming also from, again, working with people who want to do everything, but it's not their gift to do everything.
Yeah. And I feel like my default energy is that state of wanting to do everything, but it's not in my design and does not serve my magic. And so as a reflector, and also with like this vibration magic, I'm so sensitive to things being aligned and having that clarity. And I'm also comfortable with sitting back and surrendering and seeing how things will be. As of right now, my comfort zone is putting in that first domino, that first push, so that if things don't work out, I know I put in my effort. But with that in mind, I've learned that I can trailblaze and learn new tools so quickly, and that's like a wonderful gift. I'm so grateful to have. Like my tech stack expands along with what we need, whether it's like WordPress, ActiveHosted, Infusionsoft, Zapier, TryInteract, like Facebook ad analytics. It's fun and rewarding. But at the same time, that learning to unlearn, ebb and flow, it's also in my gift to delegate that out and break it down step by step and see whose gifts are capable of that, and also timing out in advance. And what I loved about this book launch was I really got to see that gift of my own, where I could sync up my vibration with others and kind of feel, oh, like this team member is like super on it, and I can work with them for a bigger vision. And then just seeing all the pieces come together, it felt really good. And like when I first started automation, it felt daunting that I was that first and end of a project. Like asking first, I need these pieces to the funnel, and the end of testing it felt like daunting. But now it's thrilling because I'm so proud, humble, grateful for this gift to be able to hold the ability when I'm in the vibration I feel called to be here for. I can zoom out and see where things lay out. I can give really fair instruction, like what you're saying. When people really believe in something, you give like the full, like everything your team needs. So I love doing that with Jeremy and my assistant. And when it all clicks, which it has this week, I'm just so grateful that technology was on our side too.
Yes. Woohoo. I know so for everybody watching, we really our goals, and this week has been amazing. Super exciting. Totally celebrating this. So Barb's question is, if you could choose your favorite thing to work on, the or platform that lights the most, what would you say that would be?
I have like this yin and yang to me, similar to our brand, which is like masculine and feminine. I ebb and flow between loving doing the really complex stuff with Zapier. Is this app that will connect multiple automations. So I'm actually like working with multiple pieces of software to get us the data we want, to get them to talk to each other, like payment processors or being able to really deliver on that high quality experience as someone is going through an online program. So I add from really loving that to, honestly, I've gotten the opportunity to design some of our landing pages at Sourced, and I also really enjoy that. It's a bit more of a short-term head rush because then everyone's like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. So I'm super grateful that I get to do both. But I guess I feel that short-term gratification with the design and the long-term gratification of, wow, I've been like laying the bedrock for this automation to work for weeks. And then now all the pieces are clicking and we understand it and we see it.
Yeah. Something that's really fun that probably nobody else cares about here except you and I, Mimi. So this week we've been working on the book launch. You know, in the book talks about magic, but it's about anatomy of a transformation. So people have been going and getting the book and getting the free gifts over at shiftthefield.com and posting their pictures. There were like so many books have come already, and that's all awesome. And at the same time, have been buying our little program we created called Sourced Magic in Action, which is all about the magic. We've sold so many of those. That wasn't even cool, but because the automation was all set up, that was just happening without us even trying. So that's kind of where the reward comes in. We worked on that months ago, and now it's like hot. Very exciting.
I always love like working with people who I get the beautiful opportunity like you working with the long term, because then we do see that compound effect. And that really did feel good to see the people come in, our team. Like all of us were like involved in so many pieces of it, whether it was testing the quiz to see our magic and putting in feedback or
Great. So the other thing you mentioned is we talked briefly about being with your partner, which is something new for you, and default and sourced energy. So, I told you with Kimmy. Kimmy's been on the team before. We are now not working together in that way. What have you learned so far about default and sourced energy when working together? And I mentioned on one of the early live streams, don't coach your partner.
Yeah.
So how's that going, or what did you want to share about that?
When you had said like the don't coach your partner, and I like laughed out loud, and Jeremy was like, what? And I'm like, Jeremy, Darla was just talking about not coaching your partner. And he was like, you mean you coaching me? And I'm like, maybe you coaching me, because it could go both ways. I find it when I think of like that old tired past, sometimes you talk about it, it's like, is it me or is it him? Like that can be my old tired past with that. And the default energy sometimes can be on my side being critical, because I'm very naturally concentrated and critical about tools, but that kind of thinking doesn't always work so well when it's applied to people who mean so well and love you, and that's why they're taking on the tasks that they are, like Jeremy. And for Jeremy, he can sometimes default to explaining why he did what he did when what I'm trying to ask for, but perhaps not holding the vibration for it, is I'm trying to ask for the present and then the future. Like, what will we do? How will we solve this? So our new sourced energy that we started practicing has been looking at where it is that we can support each other. And we've realized that I can support him in terms of understanding the big picture and then breaking things down to give him the instruction that he wants, rather than me coming back after the fact and being critical. Mm-hmm. And then on his end, what he's practicing is learning to delegate more himself to our assistant Celine, and then to leveraging these systems. And he's incredible. He's learning so much about all the tools we have at our disposal, learning at an incredible pace, being super thorough. And I think we're in this beautiful part of our lives where we have tools we can lean on and people and systems we can lean on. It's just a matter of trusting that maybe for him, he's coming out of the whole I have to do it myself thing too.
Yeah. Well, we attract energy, right? So sometimes we mirror the stuff that if we're working on can be mirrored in partner. And I would add, if he's thinking about, you're thinking about asking in advance and he's thinking about, these other things, like the question then would be, if that all works out, if I'm in that, who do I get to be? Like, energy do I really get to then? Because when we focus on the energy, the rest of it kind of falls away. And in our relationship, in my opinion, is the most challenging place to hold it because we know how to trigger someone into default and then make it their fault instead of us. And so yeah, it's an interesting challenge. But if you can focus on the energy of how do I want to show up, what does all of that, if I do all the things, what does that make available for me vibrationally, and just be that, it starts to click into place.
And even though we are in business together, it's so personal. Like, what I love about this work is that we're motivated to be as efficient and thorough as we can be, so we can go on our date at the end of the day and not be talking about work because it's done. So it's a win-win because we're trying to keep our word and be productive. And then we also want to have our amazing date. And in that, I also practiced opening up and being more vulnerable and saying, like, it's not really this XYZ tech thing I'm upset about. I'm upset because I really wanted to go out to that German restaurant with you. And then I think there's just something for him that hits, and it softens up and takes him out of that default energy that might feel more triggered.
Yeah. So that sounds like owning it, like really owning your booth. Awesome. All right. So we're going to do the final drawing, Mimi, with this beautiful picker wheel, which Mimi so smartly said, make it pink. She taught make it pink. So we can't see the names anymore. There's so many names on here now, which is really, really exciting. So this is everyone who has claimed our bundle this week, entered into the drawing. And so the first drawing is going to be for wait, let me see if I literally just saw this picture of Veronica with her I Am Sourced shirt on and her book. Veronica actually designed the cover and the shirt. So worth if you want an amazing artist and brand. But so we're going to give away one of those shirts first. So let's see, put your good vibes out if you want it to be you. And the picker wheel takes a while. Yeah, we need like picker wheel music. Oh, amazing. I know, Linda. Yeah. So exciting, Linda. Thank you for buying my book. Yes. Okay, next. The next drawing is going to be for a first sticker. And let's see who that is for.
It's like a sound bowl.
We're getting attuned at the same time. And Kelly. All right, yeah. Mimi, let's really hope we don't have too many Kellys on our list. We will find you, Kelly. Great. All right. So the next one is for our event. And we're going to sharing about this next week, but anyone at the book gets a discount on the event, and you can still that next week as well. But I'm just going to share a little preview of our beautiful event page. There's awesome video here. So many amazing humans went into this. It's our event. I'm going down to what's happening at the event here, which is 3 days. Day one, big shift. How do you actually shift from default to source? And I really dig into that, which we've been talking about today. Day two, structure and flow. This is that masculine structure and feminine flow that I believe we are most effective when we can have both. And then 3 is sourced leadership. Like, what does it really mean to lead sourced? So we're gifting a ticket to that. It is May 20th to 26th. And let's see. Do you like how this is the vehicle I'm considering buying next? Oh, it went away. Duncan. Right. So an event ticket to Duncan. And the last is a session with Mimi. So if you've been vibing fabulous Mimi Tran and you want to win that session, put all the good vibes out, you can ask her about your own automation, or you can ask her advice on your tech team. So just so many places you could go with that. And she'll email you and give you, the info how to schedule and for that. Who's it going to be, me? Jess. All right.
Yes. Chanel is so kind as to have offered to email you, Jess, and she'll connect us with the times. Chanel knows all my availability, so yeah.
Perfect. All right. And that is it. Is the show. That is the week. This has been an amazing week. Mimi, I'm glad to close it out with you. Thank you for all of your hard work on just lifting this book up and making all the vibration has been excellent, and it really shows. So I thank you so much. Is there anything you wanted to leave people with?
I would lead with trust in the people who you feel safe with and just really good with, and lean into that company.
Awesome. Yeah, that holds true in so many ways. Trust your magic, trust your intuition. I love it.
Yeah.
Amy, thanks everyone for watching. Please, you can still get the book. Stay next week, event registration. Bye, everyone.
Oh, we're still live?